私も初めてだけど。
Hello guys, my name is Ben, and today I will tell you about the anime. The greatest Demon Lord is reborn as a typical nobody. This is the first part, but if you like it, I make a sequel. I also added English subtitles, so that you can understand my bad English. Well, subscribe to my channel and enjoy watching this video. Let's go! The sorcerer Varvatos has grown too powerful and is no longer recognized as human, with no one who can understand him. He decides to reincarnate as an average boy, reborn as Art Meteor. He hopes to live an ordinary life. Unfortunately, magical power and education has declined, so while his powers will be considered average in the past, in the present he is once again the stronger warrior and sorcerer. Reaching 10 years old, Art hopes to make a friend, but his past as a terrifying Demon Lord means he has no social skills and is seen as creepy by other children. Mayor Ohai, friend to Art's parents, worries his daughter Arina has become withdrawn after being bullied by her friends for her elf heritage. Art finds Arina using magic and offers to teach her, but she runs away. Realizing she is Ohai's daughter, Art persists in trying to be friends with Irina. Goblin escapes a nearby dungeon and attacks Irina while she is alone in the mountains, but Art saves her. Irina decides to trust Art, who is happy he finally met a friend. Several years later, as teenagers and best friends, Irina suggests they join the Academy of Magic. Headmaster Gold immediately enrolls Art and Irina, as they are the children of the three great heroes. Ohai and Art's parents, Jack and Carla, protects a succubed named Ginny from Eraldo Spencer, son of a duke whose genius family Arcia runs too, and he challenges Art to duel. Their instructor is Lady Olivia, one of Art's generals from his previous life. Art decides to hide his past as Varvatos. In case she is angry, he left to reincarnate. During their duel, Art realizes Eraldo has been hiding his ordinary magic abilities behind impressive spell names and defeats him. Olivia is suspicious of Art over his use of lost skills and since Demon Lord Varvatos. Olivia sends the class to hunt monsters in a danger. Art and Irina form a team with Ginny, but due to years of Geraldo's bullying, Ginny suffers from a severe lack of confidence. Art teaches her script magic, a lost skill that makes casting spells faster. They are attacked by the dungeon's boss, a Minotaur. Art allows Ginny to deal the killing blow with script magic, and she feels pride from the first time, and they become friends. Ginny finally stands up to Eraldo and slaps him, humiliating him. Before Art can escape, Olivia grabs him from a private conversation. Olivia drags Art to Gold, who asks him to participate in the Academy duel event, and a pressure Queen to secure additional Academy funding. Ginny asks him on a date, and Irina insists on joining them, which Ginny accepts as she is happy to show Art and plans to create a harem for him, which Irina violently opposes. During the date, they attend a theatrical performance about Varvatos, though Art is depressed and how it portrays Lydia as sweet and romantic when she was a proud warrior. Art's happiness to overhear a cultist group planning to kidnap the queen during the duel event and follow them underground. They are captured and reveal they are lured them there to kill Art. However, Art defeats them easily, except the leader, who is revealed to be a demon in disguise. He flees to the streets where Art destroys him and is celebrated by the crowd for his heroics. They are summoned by Queen Rosie, a friend of Irina's, who at first joke she shall take Art as her husband to annoy Irina, but instead grants the Academy its finding, promotes Art and Irina to Pentagon-class mages, and Ginny to Triangle Mage. Surviving cultists reveal they plan to fail so as to measure Art's strength as part of their plot to help their master rule the world. A student later revealed to be named Lemin confesses her love to Art, though purely to enhance her own reputation, and is carried off by a jealous Irina. Having secured the funding already, Art refuses to participate in the duel event, disappointing Gold, who had hoped Art will impress the nobles enough to promote Art to an academy instructor. Ginny tries to seduce Art. Irina arrives, having planned to do something similar as an apology for her jealousy, but becomes angrier when she sees Ginny. They decide to duel over Art, but before Art can forbid them, they are found by Professor Jessica, who explains Gold's plan to make Art an instructor and decides they will duel. At the duel event in front of Queen Rosie, and the duel event, Art is depressed. Three of the judges are are his parents and Irina's fathers all hide. Due to having lost skills from art, both Irina and Jenny win their matches against other students. Before their own duel begins, demon cultists appear in the audience and Jessica steps all hide in the back, revealing she is actually Elzard, the frenzied Dragon King, and their plan the whole time was to kidnap Irina. Jenny is hurt protecting Irina and cannot stop Elzard from abducting Irina. Art heals all Hide's injuries and he gives Art access to the royal armory so he can rescue Irina. Elzard prepares to sacrifice Irina to a monster called the Orphan of Chess as a ritual to summon an evil god and destroy the world that she hates. After promising Jenny that he will save Irina, Art arrives in time to kill the monster and Elzard's followers. Elzard tries to turn him against Irina by revealing Irina's family is a true royal family and are descendants of the evil god, but he does not care. They battle and he impales Elzard, but she reverts to her true dragon form and attacks again. Art summons an apparition of Lydia to fight by his side and reverts to his Varvatos form. He deduces that Elzard's true motivation was loneliness, but that was no excuse for threatening Irina, and he slays her. Lydia disappears and Art reverts to normal. As they walk home, Irina is threatened of him at first, but remembers that he accepts her even after learning her secret and vows to become strong enough to fight by his side. A young girl named Sylvie emerges from a dungeon to find the world has changed, and Masked Man informs her time moves differently within that particular dungeon. So while she was inside 3000 years have passed by, he reveals Varvatos and her sister Lydia. Both died long ago, but Varvatos' soul has reincarnated as Art Meteor. The Academy will soon hold a festival, including a stage performance, which Golda wants Art to perform in. He also reveals they have received a threat from someone named Lars Al-Hul. Sylvie confronts Art about his reincarnation and what happened to Lydia, but Art feigns ignorance while Olivia, who knew Sylvie 3000 years ago, is very interested in Sylvie's claims. Sylvie challenges Art to a duel, and when Art wins, Sylvie loses her temper, yelling a scolding from Irina, making Sylvie cry as Irina reminds her of Lydia. Art's class decides a performance show beyond the life of Varvatos, with Art as Varvatos by popular demand, Irina as Lydia, and Sylvie as the evil god. For their class project, they decide to host a maid cafe. During the festival with the mains is very risky. Outfits designed by Jenny, which the girls only agree to wear after learning that would be allowed to serve Art. The Masked Man watches all this, looking forward to how Sylvie will react when she learns what really happened 3000 years ago. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please subscribe to my channel. Well, you have been with you. See you later. Bye bye.